Sometimes life happens.
We see you.
And you feel all alone.
We feel you.
With nowhere to go.
We got you.
So many questions unanswered.
We understand. Yeah.
And you feel like you can't.
But God
wrestle with
understands.
your own thoughts. This is for you.
Yeah.
When life happens and it makes you feel like you're off the beat, 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 off the beat. Real authentic conversations.
Hey guys, hey everybody, how's everybody doing? I said that too many times, but I'm nervous just to let you guys know. So we're starting off, we are Offbeat Podcast, and guess what? The girls are taking over. I have some guests with me here today, and you've seen their faces on the podcast before. And we have Angie Ovalle. Give it up for Angie. Woo! And then we got Darlene Munoz, right?
Munoz.
Okay, I'm memorizing names.
Yes.
So we got her back again. So I just want them, first of all, before we get started with the topics and stuff, kind of give us a little bit of a life update. What have you guys been up to? What are you guys doing right now? Angie, why don't you start?
Wow, that's crazy. Because when you said that, I literally started thinking about like all the things that have happened this year, and a lot has happened this year. So I actually started my business officially.
Okay.
So I started my business officially. And I'm a personal trainer. I launched my online fitness business. I actually re-enrolled back in school. So I'm a full-time college student now, and I'm a mom, but everybody already knows that.
Oh, cool. So you're back in college.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
When did you tell me that?
I don't know if I told you that.
I don't remember. So are you going still for the whole personal training thing, or is this all totally different now?
So I'm actually a psychology major.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Psychology majors here. All right, cool.
So I
Welcome to the
definitely
team.
plan on applying it into fitness.
Nice.
Yeah, so
That's awesome.
Okay,
Good
it sounds
for
like
you.
we both have like a little bit the same background, like psychology. I got my
Nice.
master's in counseling psychology this year. I also was a personal trainer too. It was fun times.
That's
Not
kinda like
anymore.
how we all met.
I have my boots for personal training. I'm retired.
she's like, I'm a retired personal trainer.
But yeah, so now I've been getting used to my job with counseling, working with kiddos from ages from like 5 to 9. So I haven't officially gone to my clients. I've still been training. It's been a lot of information, but I just want to make sure I'm equipped to work with my clients. So, and I got promoted to captain in the Army Reserve. So
Nice.
that's
Give
the
it up.
update.
That's awesome.
Wow. Nice.
So how is that? What's a whole captain? How does that work?
Just more. It's not more responsibility. It's kind of more like. Well, there's different roles. Yes, you'll have more responsibilities, as in like you have different positions where you can go into, but it's also less room to mess up. So it's a lot of supervising, a lot of planning, all that fun stuff.
Nice. Well,
Nice.
congratulations.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. That's cool. I didn't know that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We'll go into that.
That's
a little
really
bit
cool.
more. Yeah,
Wow.
that's awesome. So you guys, dang, I feel like this right now.
No.
Dad, you do a lot. Hold on.
Yeah.
We're not going to downplay what you do.
No. That's
We're about girl
awesome.
power here, okay?
Girl power, yes.
Yes.
So, how exciting. I love that. Thank you to my husband. He's in the background right now. So to allow us to take control of the podcast today, you know? I know for him that's probably like, should I not? No, but he was all for the conversation, for the topic. So thanks, babe. Love you.
Thanks, George.
Thank you for just being a supporter in what we do. And because we know that there are women who watch this podcast.
Yeah.
And there is a good viewing of women that watch this. So I know like this topic, what we're going to be talking about, is going to bless people, bless women,
Amen.
bless, marriages, bless girls that are just dealing with these things just as we are.
Right.
You know, so I'm excited to go into this, this topic. So let's kind of go into it. So what we're talking about today, Darlene is the one that brought up the topic. I have to give credit where credit is due. I did not, think of this. So Darlene thought of this topic, and we did mention it before.
Yeah.
So last time we talked about the whole, what was it called? The types of
Attachment styles.
attachment styles. I was trying to find out that word. Attachment styles. So she had thought about just the stresses of women, right?
I think it was George as well that wanted to talk about that. That it would have been a good topic for us to talk about, because we do have crazy days. Like from the moment we wake up to the moment we fall asleep, and it's like you do the same thing all over again, over and over again. And I think as mothers, we're all moms here. Like we all need to also prioritize self-care as well.
No.
George is over here playing with some toys. I don't know what he's doing.
Sorry, I feel like you guys off guard. I know. I'm like, what? Is that a signal?
You're like, do I stop talking?
I wish you guys would have saw what just happened.
That's funny.
Sorry. So kind of going back to what you're saying. Yeah, we all go through it. Like literally when you're just saying that, I'm just like, this week,
this
day,
today.
And it's only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday.
Yeah, seriously, it's only Tuesday. It's a Tuesday we're having this podcast, and it feels like so much happens in one day.
Yeah.
So who kind of wants to why don't you, Angie, kind of talk a little bit about that?
About what my days look like?
What does your days
Oh,
look
You're
like?
starting a lot of different things right now, so I want to see how you're adjusting.
Yeah.
Okay, so wow. Okay, so my day starts off. I wake up mostly to my baby crying. My baby's 2. So I'm a new mom. I still feel like a new mom, and I feel like I'm still adjusting to him. So yeah, immediately I wake up, I get his clothes ready for school. I'm thinking, what am I going to eat? What is he going to eat? I have like an hour to get out of the house most of the time. I'm rushing out. Yep. And I need to get him to his daycare. Once I drop him off at daycare, then I go ahead and drive to my gym in Fontana. Mm-hmm. And there I start personal training clients for a couple of hours, and I try to squeeze in a lunch as best I can. I also get on conference calls. I'm trying to post on Instagram. I am also in between clients, texting other clients, taking payments, updating payment plans. What else? I also have to think about how I'm going to structure my school day. So I sometimes have classes that I have to attend online. And then usually in the mornings when I'm getting ready, I'm listening to lecture videos from school. That way when I'm about to do my homework later on throughout the day, then I take quizzes and stuff. Yeah, I try to fit in my schoolwork maybe in between clients sometimes. But yeah, so I dedicate maybe 2 to 3 hours of school. Mm-hmm. During the day. And then I did just launch the online fitness. So then I'm also taking client check-ins during the day. And yeah, and then all of a sudden it's 6 p.m. And then I have to go pick up my baby. And honestly, it feels like that's where the work really, 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 really starts, because I'm already tired after a work day.
Yeah.
And so then I have to pick up my baby, and then I should change that. I don't have to pick up. I get to pick up my baby. And then go home, make dinner, meal prep. I hang out with him, try to play with him, try to have some intentional time with him. Mm-hmm. And then I bathe him. Once I put him down, then I do maybe an hour or 2 of editing, an hour or 2 of maybe reading for school or night class online. So yeah, my day probably ends about 11 p.m. Yeah.
Same. What about you, maybe later, sometimes later.
Yeah. My day ends at 9 p.m. because I make sure that little girl's asleep by 9:30. But I stay up because I want that extra hour of the
downtime.
Just the downtime. Oh my goodness.
I need downtime.
But when kids start school, I think it's a whole different stress. So I wake up.
Yeah.
I honestly wake up about 20 minutes before I wake up my daughter, so I can read my devotional, pray, read the Bible, because I need that time for myself to set the tone for the day. Then I get my daughter ready. I'm telling her, let's hurry up, let's go. And then I get myself ready. I drop her off. I go back home, finish getting ready, go to work. And then I'm work all day. It's salary, so it's like once I'm done, I'm done for the day. But I try to stay until like 4:30. And then I get to pick up my daughter. I get to pick her up.
Yeah.
We go home. We do homework. We try to spend some quality time together because when I was in school, she started to like rebel a lot. But I think because I was really busy, personal training, doing my internship, school. So she started to rebel. And I saw like, you know, we talked about anxious attachment. Like I saw her be a little bit more anxious with me. So now that I'm not in school and I have a lot of free time, I try to make it more intentional with her.
And how old is your daughter?
She is 5, turning 6 next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's sassy.
She's sassy.
Girls are sassy. Yeah. All right. So a little bit about me. My days are different, but they're wild. I feel like.
Well, you're a homeschool mom.
I'm a homeschool mom, just to one. Well, no, I guess still to both, right? Pretty much, because once it's because my oldest son, he's now at a facility. He goes to a sports academy, but it's still independent learning. So but at the facility, he meets with the teacher now online. It's online learning. So, and then he does some of his homework over there. But a lot of the time, like, because half of the time at school, he's actually doing his workouts, exercises, whatever it is that they're teaching there, athletic wise.
So cool.
So, but once he comes home, we're homework. We're on homework. I mean, I'm cooking dinner and doing homework with him. Yeah. I'm doing something and doing homework with him. And he's like, Mom, I need help. I'm just like, just do it. Just focus. But
it's a lot of multitasking.
It's a lot of multitasking, I feel like, for me, because I have 3 kids. And, well, just 2 of my boys alone, they're just wild. My daughter's pretty cool. She's independent. She does a lot of things on her own, you know. It's just time when it's feeding time. Brielle, okay, come eat, you know. Aww. And she's really cool at it. She's really good. So, and then sometimes she comes out a little later, too, because she likes to do homework at school. She gets tutoring help and stuff. So that's nice, you know. But with the boys, it just gets more wild. It gets really wild. And as you guys saw earlier,
and actually that's what I was gonna add on to that, because she said her daughter's sassy. So like a lot of people, I tend to like pay attention to like the difference between boy moms and girl moms. And so boy moms are always like, they're wild, and I feel like girl moms are like, that girl gives me attitude.
She does. The whole neck and everything.
The eye roll. They got an eye roll.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I kind of have both, little both, because I see that with my daughter now too. We're actually talking about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's just so many different personalities that we deal with, and it's like, Lord, like, help us. Like, I've been praying a lot lately about them, you know, because it's been tough. They're all in their different stages of life. I have almost a 5-year-old. I have almost a 9-year-old. Yeah. And then our daughter's 11. So they're all in different stages right now. So it's a little tough. But yeah, and then I've been doing, like right now, lately, what I've been doing is just trying to focus on my photography. And then I have the coffee cart. So I'm just trying to grow those businesses right now. Yeah. And I've been learning as well, like kind of like doing some photography education stuff. So just kind of learning, getting into a different style of photography. So I'm just trying to grow. But there's stresses when it comes down to that too, you know, like just insecurities and then just the business of like posting things and then our other businesses who we take care of their stuff. And sorry, by the way, I'm saying it right now.
You're
I'm
okay.
so sorry,
girl.
I feel like I've let you down. And I let myself down.
You should have been on like I was with my friend and he was listening into my conference call earlier with like my business mentors, and they were like, Angie, we need to get you back on like posting. And I'm like, bro, I am so busy with like school. This is finals week for me, so so busy with like school and stuff that it's just posting. It takes time. You have to schedule it. Yeah. You really have to put some time into it. And I think too, like back in the day, people would like give out business cards to like promote their business. But I feel like nowadays your social media is like your business card. Yep. So yeah,
That's the way my husband always says it.
Oh,
yeah.
Like, yeah, you tell them about it, but it's like, look me up, and the way they're gonna look you up is through IG. You know?
Exactly.
'Cause that's where you have pictures. That's
yeah,
where you
it's
have
a great,
videos
great tool.
of So right, that's kind of like what I've been doing a lot. Is just trying to like put myself out there a little bit more than what I'm used to. I feel like, you know.
It's definitely, you definitely got to get out of your comfort zone. And like
Yeah.
you said, because she's filmed me before, and I get so nervous, and she'll be like, just act like you're in your session, how you talk to your girls. And I'm like, I can't. It's just, it is. It's like, you do have like those fears of like putting yourself out there, you know?
Yeah.
So, but life has been busy for us, huh, babe? And then he's been working a lot. So I have been a lot with the kids too. So it's just,
Yeah.
I think that's been my thing right now. Is just figuring out like how to really like be intentional with them, because I like how you guys are saying that, like, you guys have the intentionality, and I feel like I do, like, I try to be, but because sometimes like their behaviors, how they've been, that's been hard, I think, as a mom. And that's what we're gonna talk about too, is like just mom life, you know. And one of the things that we have on the points is, because I know you guys are both have a lot of good background. I know you do too, because you've learned about this, like about the hormonal stuff.
Yeah.
Like how we as women, like how does knowing that we have all these things that we have to do and all these, you know, because these things do stress us out, makes us worried. Are we gonna get it done on time? Are we gonna turn in our homework on time? Are we gonna do good on the final? Are we gonna make it to work on time? Get our kids to school on time? They're just worries and stresses that it just kind of comes with the job, you know, kind of comes with the title, you know.
Yep.
So how does hormones like to integrate into that?
So I'm gonna give you a quick little example. So about like 3 weeks ago, my baby got really sick, and I was actually in the hospital. So I didn't work for like 3 weeks, and I got behind in school for like 3 weeks. So last week, my whole class was on week 6, and I was starting at week 3, right? And so somehow I was able to do week 3, week 4, and week 5 all in 1 week, right? But then the following week came, and sorry, let me go back. That last week, for some reason, I was able to get it done. I felt so I just felt I had like this amazing focus. I didn't drink caffeine that week. I didn't feel like I needed it, right? And I was just able to get everything done, and I just felt so efficient, right? And I felt my mind was like clear. I could read and understand everything that I'm reading. I can listen to a lecture from my professor and understand everything. And then the following week, I'm starting at week 6. My class is starting at week 7. Thankfully, my professors allowed me to like get my work done. They just said catch up as fast as you can. Thank the Lord.
Good.
But for some reason, I've had to watch that week. I had to watch the same lecture videos probably about 4 or 5 times. I've had to read the same things about 4 or 5 times because that was the week before I was going to start my period. And so it was just, my brain was so foggy.
Yeah.
And it was just so crazy how the week before, which technically was like my ovulation week, which is the week that we tend to get testosterone as women. And so, yeah, it was just so crazy how I was able to do 3 times the work in school than the following week. And I was exhausted.
I joke a lot and say that women tend to be diagnosed with bipolar disorder more than males. But I always joke, like, I wonder if it's because our hormones too, because we have such a high during ovulation week. Like last week, I was like, oh, I could save the world.
Literally,
this week, I am so tired. I yawned so many times when I got here. But because we have so many we have a week of being high, and then we have like a time period of being low. So we constantly have this high and a low, and that's how bipolar is. But bipolar, it's like a longer period of time, or it could be. So that's how I'm like, I wonder if that's like, if there's like a link to it.
I feel like you guys know this by learning about it, like kind of like more in detail. But now hearing you guys and like kind of seeing how sometimes my weeks go, and how when I kind of get my period and stuff like that, Sorry, by the way, guys.
I know, sorry guys. Right before I said period, I was like, wait, can I say period on here?
Menstrual cycle.
Menstrual cycle. I'm like, let me get more technical with the terms. Menstrual cycle.
You know, but it was just funny because I'm like, you know what? It's crazy because before I get mine too, like lately my back has been killing me, and I'm like, I'm getting old.
Yep.
I feel like I'm getting so much older, but I tell my husband, I'm like, I blame it on the epidural because with my last child, my youngest, like I did have the epidural.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like that has affected my back, but I feel like my back starts to hurt even more.
Absolutely.
When I
Yep.
am like, because I think I push my body a lot of the time throughout the week, you know, when I'm doing things, I kind of have to. You
Girl,
know?
yes, you work a lot.
Yeah, you have to push
She's
your
trying
body.
to downplay what she does.
I know.
Like, girl, I know you do a billion of things.
Yeah.
Okay, don't downplay it.
I am downplaying it.
She's like, yeah, I'm the shit. I'm just kidding, girl.
No, but I just feel it like, because it's funny because I never really noticed it. Like I've never really noticed like my tiredness like before getting my period.
Yeah.
Like how you explained it, like you know, like the difference. I don't think I've ever noticed it. I think I've always just kind of like pushed forward through it.
Yeah.
But now I feel like as kind of getting older, I'm in my I'm 30 now. You
Yeah.
know? So I feel like now it's being more known. You know, as
it's like
your
you're
age.
becoming
And here
more
it gets
aware.
worse.
Yeah, I'm becoming more aware where I feel it in my back.
Yep.
I'm actually more tired in the mornings.
Yeah.
Because I am not a morning person. You know, I'm just not.
Not
Me and my
either.
husband are not. It takes us a lot to get up. You know,
I'm a morning person.
Are you?
I'm like, whoa.
I'm not.
By 6 or 7 p.m., I'm like, don't talk to me. I'm
I'm like the
now. I'm
opposite.
tired.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's like when I come alive.
That's so funny.
Like a little spurt.
Yeah, no, I am not a morning person. So, like waking up today, like I was so cozy. I think I laid
Yeah.
down like 10 more minutes
You're
before
like,
I had to
"Where's
get up to
my
get ready
coffee?"
and take my daughter to school. You know,
Yeah.
but like the push, like you just gotta push yourself. You know.
Yeah.
So, but I've been noticing my body, like, okay,
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get my period already because
And that's one thing that, like, obviously, like, as far as fitness, that's like one thing that I really, really focus on is like the different hormonal cycles. And that's any one of my clients will tell you, if I ask them, what week are you on? They'll be like, oh, I'm on my ovulation week. Like, they already know. So, because I teach them how to train according to their hormonal cycles, because there are weeks that, for example, I love lifting heavy, but I can't lift. Like I'm just, my body physically like just cannot do it. And so then I teach all my clients that, for example, I was having a conversation with one of my clients today. Last week, she was struggling to like lift, she was lifting pretty heavy, but she was stopping like mid set. And she was like, I can't breathe. Like, I feel so exhausted. I feel so fatigued. And then today she was powering through her sets and she was like, honestly, that doesn't even feel heavy.
Oh, wow.
And it's because last
crazy.
week she was on her menstrual cycle.
Oh, wow.
And so the same weight, I actually added more weight to her today. And she was like, that doesn't feel heavy actually.
Wow.
Yeah. And she was
That's
like
crazy.
doing like 15 reps, of like what she couldn't do last week. Yeah. So
So we not only do we have like 4 different personalities to each phase.
4 different personalities. That's
our body,
our 4 cycles.
4
Oh my
cycles, 4 different personalities. You gotta get to know all of them.
Dude, but it does kind of like change up your personality,
It
because sometimes I'm
does.
like super extrovert.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, ooh, I want to put on makeup. Ooh, I want it. And then other days I'm like, nope. Hoodie it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hair up it is. Like
I cannot
I
think
know.
clearly the week leading up to my period, like now. And until I get my period, I cannot think clearly.
Yeah, you
I
get a
cannot
lot of
make
fog brain.
sound decisions.
Yeah.
Like,
Babe, see? Now you know.
word-
See?
yeah, it's like the world is gonna end in 2
Literally.
days. Like I need to figure it out right now, and I can't think straight.
So I actually, on like big decisions, I won't make decisions that week. That's actually called your luteal cycle, which is your
Nice.
PMS days. Your premenstrual syndrome cycle. So yeah, you're PMSing like really bad right before the week of your period. So I never make concrete decisions that week.
Oh, that's a good tip then.
Ever.
Very
Yeah.
good tip.
It's like going to the grocery store when you're hungry.
True.
Because
You'll
you'll just
get
end up
everything.
getting
I've
everything.
never
Bad
seen it
bad
like that.
decisions.
That's
Yeah.
really wow.
You make bad decisions
All right,
because
let me
you're
not make
so
any
emotional.
decisions.
Yeah.
And you can't think clearly. You're just so
So true.
foggy.
That's
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
We're learning
I'm
something,
like,
girls.
we are
We're learning
learning.
something.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta wait till next week to make decisions.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks. In 2 weeks.
And then too, like I'm like, okay, if I'm on that cycle, I gotta make sure that when I'm around people, I'm not taking out any like irritability on them.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Because sometimes we can get a little snappy just because our hormones are, you know.
You know, it's funny because I feel like I get really. I'm thinking now. I'm like, I get. I'm like, oh yeah.
It's making sense.
Because you know
she
what?
mentioned it.
I had a week. Because I recently had my period not too long ago either. Now I think I was telling him like lately I feel like I've been having a very short fuse with my kids.
Yeah.
You know,
it
and I feel like,
happens.
and you know what? During that week, I feel like I was very short.
Yeah.
You know, so now thinking about it, like anything that they would do, it would irritate me. Like right away. Like,
No, really.
You know, and I'm like on
Yeah.
them, like, hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing? Like, you know,
Yeah.
and sorry guys, I'm just like that type of mom. But but it's just like now I get it too. Like, because I feel like this week I've been better at not
Yeah.
getting, because I'm not on it. I'm
Yeah.
good, you know,
Yes.
but and I'm been I think more chill when it comes down to getting mad, or like talk to them in a different way, you know, or like lately I feel like I've been more aware. I'm like, okay, I need to be eye level to them, so remember to be eye level to them and
Yeah.
not above them when I talk to them when I'm getting mad or something, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like being more aware in a way, you know. So I see the difference. That's
yeah, it's crazy.
I feel like leading out to my period, I'm like emotional, like, oh, like my boyfriend, I'm like, oh, you don't love me, like I'm like, you don't love me, but then like during ovulation week, I don't know why that's when I'm cranky. Do you think it changes? Well, okay, little backstory, I have a fibroid in my uterus,
Okay.
so that's what I got surgery for, because I think I told him I had surgery to remove that mass, but when he went in, he didn't see it. But when I talked to my doctor, it's like, and he looked at my ultrasounds from last week, so I went to the ER, I was getting pain again. He said that's in the uterus wall, so he didn't see it during surgery. But I think I get cranky because that's when I feel the pain of the fibroid.
Oh yeah. So during ovulation week, which is like 2 weeks before your period, you're like me. I actually get cramps really bad during my ovulation week, and obviously if you're literally in walking like pain, like you're gonna get cranky. You know what I mean?
That's when I'm my crankiest.
Which
yeah.
is crazy though, because that's also the week that we do get like testosterone. So maybe you might be in pain, but we also have pretty good energy that week.
Yeah,
You're not
I'm
tired.
in pain and I could do anything. Like
Yeah.
I was on top of the world last
You
week.
can power through
Yeah.
it. Yeah. No, but yeah, cramps suck.
Yeah, and then another thing is like what do you think about how hormones like cause like kind of like more, I think we already talked about it, but maybe we can kind of go more into it, where how it causes sometimes how the depressive part.
Oh man.
Who wants to
I'm
kind of
like-
go?
I'm
on
like,
that?
hold on, let me think about that.
I don't know. I think it's life or situational based, because maybe, at least for me, I could be pretty dismissive. I'm like, oh no, it's okay. But then when I'm about to start my period, I start to feel all sad and stuff. That's when I'm like, you know what? That's not okay. Then I start to be like more sensitive. I don't know what's the hormonal part about it though.
I think for me, when we get testosterone a little bit when we are in our ovulation week, and then when we go into our luteal cycle and our menstrual cycle, the estrogen, which is like the woman hormone, really starts to kick in. And so, I used to have depression and anxiety really bad. So I feel like back then it used to affect me like tremendously. But naturally, my personality type, I'm like the very like nervous personality type. Like I can be excited and like nervous at the same time. But yeah, I tend to have a how can I say that? I don't want to say anxiety, because thank the Lord God freed me from all anxiety. But I do tend to get more anxious during that time. With like the timelines, and I start overthinking everything. Can I do this? Can I do this? Oh my God, I'm so tired. Can I do schoolwork? Should I quit? Like you just start thinking like
You start
crazy
thinking a lot of
things, and you start second guessing everything you're doing. Like, is this even gonna work? Should I even schedule that at that time? Maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should do it. And it's just like, oh my God.
do you hear that? that? Do you hear like I'm like, look at the boys. Do you guys go through that? I'm just curious. He's giving
In
like
their
this like
own way, yes, I think they do.
I mean, naturally,
Naturally,
but not that a
does
hormone
it,
is
does
causing
it
it.
race like that? Because to me it races like that. Like
Yeah.
1 second I'm like I could do it. The next second I'm like no.
Yeah. No,
It's
that's
so
true.
crazy. And maybe George is gonna like this a little bit. So women have 4 cycles. And we have weekly cycles. Men have 24-hour cycles. So men wake up, and as soon as they wake up, they get a kick of testosterone. And they're just ready to conquer the day. And then 24 hours go by. They can go through their whole workday with like a good amount of energy, and they're just ready to go all day. And then they tend to get tired towards the end of the day. And that's why if you put on a movie or something, they'll end up like knocking out. And you're just like, how?
This
Like,
fool.
how do you
Yeah.
go to,
Yeah.
like, how do you fall asleep so easily? But that's because
That happened last night.
their cycle is like, their cycle is like coming to an end, right? So, George, women only get a kick of testosterone once a month. So the way that you feel every single day with that same amount of energy, she only feels that once a month.
But
Yeah.
you still see me going at it. Oh, burn. I'm not.
Moms have like this different drive. Like when I
for
was
real.
personal training, I don't know if you have any mom trainer or mom clients, but when I was personal training, my mom clients were the business. Like they
Yeah.
had a drive in them that my other clients that weren't moms that they didn't have.
Yeah.
Like they just have a different drive, a different like spunk to them. And I'm just like, oh my God.
I think
Like,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
It's because we have something to live for. Like,
Yeah.
to be honest, like that is why I think, it's
Yeah.
like, I think when you're single, sorry for all the single people, but it's nothing to put anything bad, but it's like, yeah, because you're just thinking more about what you have to do, or even if you are with somebody, then you're
Yeah.
thinking about just like what you and your partner, but you guys are adults, you guys are responsible, you guys
Yeah.
are. But when you're a parent, your mom, now you're thinking about little ones, or you're thinking
Yeah.
about your children who you love because you love them very much. You love them with all your heart.
Yeah.
So, like with this unconditional love. So like they're always in the back of your mind. Are they being fed at school? Are they behaving?
Right.
Are they
Did they
being
eat
taken
enough?
care of? Are they
Yeah.
okay? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
doesn't, I don't think it matters. Even wherever they might be, even when my kids are with my parents, I'm like, I wonder what they're doing. I wonder how
Yeah.
they're acting. I wonder, are they having fun? They haven't called me, but it's okay. But, I don't mind it. But,
Yeah.
like there's just so much,
Yeah.
going on,
Yeah.
because you have another human who you are responsible for. and
It's
you have to take
really
care
like
of.
a crazy drive that's like unexplainable, and sometimes you're just like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just kind of that
exactly.
mentality, like I don't know how, but somehow that like it just has to get done.
Yeah.
One of my coworkers from
Literally.
the Army made a good point. Having a kid will either motivate you to do better and give you that drive, or it'll do the opposite.
Oh,
And me
that's
working with
crazy.
kids, and I'm working with the county of San Bernardino, so I'm working with moms who are drug addicts, who experience a lot of trauma, homelessness. So I've seen a lot of moms not have that drive that we have. And to me, it's heartbreaking because while we're trying to help the kids, they're not doing their part as moms. So the kids are still, high anxiety, still being bullies at school. And
Wow.
it's kind of heartbreaking.
No,
It's kind
Yeah.
of heartbreaking. And like, I think I experienced a moment where I had no motivation, and I didn't want to have my motivation for my daughter because I wanted to have my own identity. I wanted to fill my own cup. Because
Yeah.
if I put my identity on her, I'm losing sight of myself.
Yeah.
So I
That's
had
good.
to learn to pour into myself, to do my self-care so that I could show up for her. And that's something that I need to talk to like the moms when I actually have my own clients, to encourage them to pour into themselves, seek your own therapy, do what you have to do so that you can show up for your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. I think that's very
That's
important.
that's very important. And she made a good point of like not finding your identity in your kids.
Yeah.
One, because how you said you should have your own identity, but also putting that on the kid.
That's a lot of
That's
pressure.
a lot
Yeah.
of weight
My
on a
mom
child.
does that for me, to me and my brothers. I'm like, you need to find something outside of us. Like,
Yeah.
because what's going to happen when I move out? Me and my mom live together. I'm like,
Aw.
what's going to happen when I leave? Like, you
Yeah.
need to have something that you could call your own. So-
Yeah. Dang, that's good. That's really good.
I like that. Let's kind of dive deep into that. I think. I think that's a very good point. you know, how we as women, as mothers, how we have to find our identity, you know, because I think for myself too, and I know you can speak into this too, because I think we've all done counseling, you know, some sort of counseling. We've all gone like that self-help. No, not self-help. We all gotten help, you know, to help ourselves, you know, to be better. Like, cause I know like for me, like it was more in regards to our marriage, you know, and we went to counseling for, you know, a couple of years, you know, to better ourselves. But then too, like, I felt like I kind of like, now that I kind of think about it now, and I always say, like, I feel like we were also neglecting the kids, you know, in that way. So we kind of had I feel like as a mom, like I knew I had to find this balance, you know, where it wasn't just also about us. It wasn't just about, you know, so I had to find even like about me. Who am I in this?
Yeah.
You know, and that's like with those videos that I sent you in regards to Holly Furtick, like that helped me a lot because I wanted to fix a lot of things with my husband, and I want to fix a lot of things in how I am with my kids. Because I was like, because of everything that was going on between us, like I was really attached to my kids then. Like a lot of my kids had a lot of my attention then, you know, because I just felt like they needed that from me in a way. Like they were like neglected, I think, in a way, but then at the same time, I had my attention on them. I don't know. It just doesn't, it's weird, you know, because I think in the neglect, the reason why I say that, I just think they just didn't have, because they didn't have both of us present, you know? So, but I was very much present. So I think to kind of get myself out of just overthinking of what was taking place between me and my husband and stuff, you know? So in a way, like I was kind of putting my identity on them.
It's like you were filling yourself up with them.
Yeah. So then that's where I kind of like, okay, I don't know. I just started getting encouraged and praying, and then hearing other women, allowing other women to speak into my life. When I was getting that counseling, and they're just like, okay, you got to start, you know, you got to start doing you. Yeah. You know, you got to start thinking about you, your health, your emotional, physical being, and working on yourself, you know? So that's what I started doing, you know, and I kind of found like that, and it came out at a perfect time. It's crazy that Mrs. Better Half, you know, and those videos really taught not how to, because it was about marriage. So it was what you had to work on to be better for your husband, for your children.
You're just reminding me. You're just reminding me. I started watching those, and she makes a big point that we cannot change the other person. Then the more we nag, the more they're gonna not change. But we have control of changing ourselves. And that's something I'm still like kind of working through, like myself. But I have that self-awareness that kind of makes me be like, oh, okay, yeah. Like the more I do this, the more I'm not going to change that other person. I have control of myself, not the other person. So
right. And that's even with our kids in the same way, I feel like. Because we want to like, we're so focused on them, then we want to start changing them, you know? And, or just, how you say, micromanaging them, you know? And it's like, so... I don't know. What do you want to say anything?
So I actually had a moment in counseling when my baby was probably like 2 or 3 months. And of course, my counselor, I've been with her for a couple of years now. She's amazing. She always asks me like, okay, what's up with the week? Like, what happened? How are you feeling? You know, those types of questions. And I told her that I was having feelings of like not being enough for my baby. Keep in mind, my baby's like 3 months at this point, you know? And immediately she was just like, Angie is used to having like toxic relationships where she doesn't feel enough and she has to people please her way into like love. Is that the kind of relationship you want to build with your son?
Wow.
Wow.
Therapists are blood.
Yeah.
I like her. What's her number?
I'll give you her number. Yeah. And I was like, no. She's like, okay, we're not doing that. And so never again did I have feelings of like guilt or of like I'm not doing enough, because it's not because I wasn't doing enough in my motherhood. It was just I dealt with inferiority and I was trying to use my baby as like a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
I think you're not completely wrong though, because there's something about kids that fills your heart. I never knew I could love anyone like
it's crazy
that much. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, cool. So I'm learning like the softer side of me, because I grew up with just boys. So I learned how to be a girl and be girly with my daughter. She's very girly. So I think they're a blessing in disguise, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Completely. But like to to put like your anxiousness and stuff like that. That's in therapy you talk about codependency. So to become codependent of your child, that's unhealthy.
What I was doing.
Yeah.
And there's this
That's
there's this term. I think I don't think I'm gonna pronounce it right. I never do. Differentiation. I can't say it.
Yeah.
You know it.
Yeah.
So like to have your identity outside of someone else. So that's when I learned that. That's when I decided I don't want to have my identity on my daughter. On the people I date.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning and still trying to like have my identity from God and try to remind myself, okay, like as long as I keep trying to put my identity on other people, like the more I'm gonna feel unfulfilled.
Yeah. And you end up feeling really empty.
Yeah.
And then people mess up and then you're like,
so disappointed.
Yeah.
But people are gonna disappoint you.
Yeah.
So
But it's like your fault for like setting such a high expectation and like having, like I said, like finding your identity in like other people, even your children. It's like you're putting such a big like responsibility and pressure on that person.
That's a lot of
And
pressure.
that's their not their responsibility to like carry around or their burden. Yeah.
No, yeah.
That's a good point.
That's crazy. I was going to say something, but there's too much going on, I think.
The boys are having a party in the living room right now.
I know that I'm hearing that noise. So sorry about that, guys. I'm just like, what are these kids doing over there? Good thing you guys can't hear it. I hope so. But no, I think that's a good point. I think what I was going to say, though, in regards to identity is, I think that is most important is finding our identity in Christ above everything, because he does fulfill every void inside of us. And I think that is, first of all, that's the reason why like seeking counseling, getting the help, that is above everything, why God has like led us to those things, because yes, we pray, believe me, we pray, we pray hard, but we need people to surround us,
And it's even biblical. It says in the word to seek wise counsel. And it's funny because I feel like there's a little bit of how can I say this? I feel like there's a little controversy within Christianity when it comes to like receiving therapy and counseling, because people are like, no, like Jesus is enough. And it's like, if I'm going to counseling, I'm not stating that Jesus isn't enough for me. I just need someone who has Jesus to get me right.
Right.
I think I was dealing with a lot of anger issues last year, and it was kind of odd to me because yes, like when I'm about to start my period, I do have like a little bit of like less temper. I have more of a temper, but it was like persistent, and that was odd to me. So then when I went to seek pastoral counseling, I think he failed me a little bit because he said, you don't need counseling. You just need to go to church. And I was already going to church, and I was already reading my Bible. So it's kind of like, I feel like he failed me. So I went another couple months not like still dealing with all that until I decided to go to therapy.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of grew up in that environment too, like not to put no shame or anything like that, but I kind of did. And like there was just never someone there. I'm a PK, so I feel like as a pastor's kid, if you don't know what it means, it's a pastor's kid.
I didn't know that.
Oh no. Okay, so good thing she's a PK. So like growing up in the church, where of course like my parents, they pastored and stuff like that. It was kind of like, in a way, like yes, there was counseling, but there wasn't like I think intentional. Like that intentional counseling that one goes for, I think it's more like, okay, you talk to your fellow members, you get to know them, have fellowship with them. And then if you feel comfortable enough to talk to them or express with them, then hopefully, prayerfully, hopefully they can pray for you. And then you guys like help each other out, which is great, right? That's still good. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but when we needed the counseling, when we needed the work, and then as a pastor's kid, there was just I feel like there was just no space for us.
Wow.
To be.
That must have been really tough.
Open.
Yeah.
To be.
You probably felt like you didn't have somewhere to go and get the help that you needed.
Yes. I'm not going to say, like, I'm not going to. Yeah. Like, really, that's what it was.
Like the psychology part, because we could receive the word and stuff. And I do believe in applying the word into our daily life, but sometimes we need that psychology part. You know, sometimes we have a little bit of trauma. Sometimes we have a way that we grew up that we're so used to and accustomed, and we think it's normal.
Yeah.
So it's like we need someone else, an outside source that knows the psychology to help us heal from that.
Or not only that, but because like when we got counseling, it actually wasn't with an actual therapist. There were actually other it was pastor friends that were from a different ministry and stuff like that. And my dad actually I think recommended them to us, you know. So, you know, we were open enough to go with them. So, and they were open enough to allow us to go into their home and then like open up their whole house for us to go and have that time, you know. And you know what, I've never experienced that before, and I don't think I've ever, well, I did see it with my parents, with other people, you know, but in this way, and I think what we were going through experiencing, I was very like, oh wow. You know, like I was very, my jaw like dropped. I'm just like, oh wow, like I didn't know that this actually existed in a way, you know. Like I've never really
it's kind of like a taboo in a sense. And like what she said was so important, because the psychological aspects is so important, because I can probably share my testimony a little bit. So I was really, really sick. I had like really bad health problems before. And so obviously I'm a believer and I'm surrounded by believers. And so everybody's just like, just pray, 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 keep praying, keep praying, keep praying. Apply the word, read the word, pray, 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 pray. And so I would literally be up at like every altar call at church, right? And so I was just terribly sick, but I was also very depressed. I had really, like, literally doctors diagnosed me like severely depressed and like severe anxiety, and even like prescribed medication, which I never took. But it wasn't until I got into counseling, and this is crazy, after a whole year of like a counseling program that I got enrolled in, I'm not kidding, like once I finished the program, like every month, just like things started falling off of me. And what I mean is just like symptoms just started to lessen. I had like throughout my life, I've had like 4 or 5 different like pretty bad diagnoses, like physical, like health wise. And earlier in 2023, I'm completely off of all medication. I used to take 6 to 7 different types of medications a day. And I know Christians want me to say that someone came and like laid their hand on me and like, you know, in the name of Jesus, but that's a lie. That would be a lie. What really healed in me is God healed my mind, because there was a lot of trauma there. Therefore, it actually healed my body. And being so sick mentally and being so sick emotionally was starting to like transpire in like the physicality and the physical world. And so, yeah, it was, God used counseling as a tool to completely heal me, even physically. I literally went back earlier this year, and every single thing that I was diagnosed with was like, nope, you're good. That's awesome. You don't have to take medication.
That's awesome.
Even the medications that they were like, you're going to have to take this for the rest of your life. I'm on 0 medication.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So, yay, counseling.
Yay. Yes. And I think, because what I was going to say too, in regards to like, you know, your story is awesome. I love that about your testimony. You know, that is a testimony, if someone prayed over you or not, like, what got you there, that's just a God-given purpose. I think God allowed you to go through all that so that it can become a testimony. Amen. You know, and to show like this is how sometimes we have to receive the help. Because I think we get into denial, like on how to get help.
Yeah.
You know,
I denied it for so long, and I was dealing with anger issues for so long until now I'm like in a vulnerable state where I'm like, okay, like this is where it's coming from.
Yeah.
And now I want to be on my soft girl era.
Yeah. Your feminine girl era.
My feminine girl area.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, yeah, and I feel like even like in like all Christians should go through counseling. Yeah. Like everyone should go through counseling.
Yeah. I think we all go through, like, I mean, yeah, I'm a PK, but
you still have things to work out.
I do, because I think we talked about it on the podcast. Like sometimes I tell my husband, I'm like, you know what? Like, I didn't know that I kind of like had this, like, you know, like, cause I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm getting more of aware of different things of myself, you know, like I think I've noticed certain things, like sometimes my reactions to certain things, sometimes how I respond to certain things. And a lot of the things why is because sometimes the way I grew up.
Right.
You know, it does have a lot to do with it. The way your childhood is, how your parents treated you, you know, how they even taught you. Like, and it's not that sometimes our parents are doing a bad job. It's just sometimes they did, like, again, we always say this on the podcast, our parents have done what they could do, what they were taught, and they did the best of it in their way, you know, but how we transpire that, is that how you say transpire that is just because now we're different. We're different. We have a different personality. We have different thought process, and then the type of generation we live in is just it's different, you know, compared to our parents sometimes. And I know, like, because I think about it for my kids. My kids are gonna think the same way, like in that way, like they're gonna think differently than me because their generation is different. Yeah, what they're learning in their time is different. I'm trying to do my best as a parent to we're trying to do best as parents, like, is to teach them like respect, values, morals, principles, you know, that matter, you know, but that's gonna be based on them too, because on how they see the world, you know, and how they learn it, and how they, because sometimes the influences around them are gonna also dictate how they're going to
molds them.
Exactly.
What about us? What do you think would mold us nowadays? Like, we have the pressure of social media, of showing up. Like, you guys are both content creators. Like, I kind of stepped back from it. I opened a therapy page, but I'm still working on it. I got lazy with it. But you have I wanted to make some posts yesterday. I just didn't do it because I'm tired this week, you know. But like the pressure of social media, we kind of put our pressure on ourselves. Like, when I was personal training,
oh my god,
I wanted to be consistent with posting because I wanted people to remember me.
Yeah. Right. When they think about working out, you want you to like come up to their mind. Yeah. Yeah, literally.
And then Jeanette, she has her photography. She has her coffee cart. Is it coffee cart or is it
cart?
It's a coffee cart. Yeah. So like, I feel like we kind of put our pressure on ourselves because we might see other people posting a little bit more. We see women doing a lot of things and they have a smile on their face, but I think what we have to remind ourselves is that they're probably crying while they're posting it. Like, right?
They're only posting like the good. Yeah, they're posting like only the good. Yeah.
I have a like, I guess it's a cool story. It's actually just literally happened the other day. I think it was yesterday was Monday, right? So Monday. Yeah. It was so cool. Like in the morning. So I had through my photography page. So, okay, for example, let me go start with this. I don't know, Sunday. I think it was Sunday. I don't know why, but because like how I said, like I want to level up my photography. You know, I'm trying to change even like kind of like the style and how I edit and stuff like that, and how I even work with clients and stuff. So I'm trying to really like level up, you know. And I've been learning through this educational, she's a photographer. She has like an educational course. Yeah, there you go, course. I'm like, what's the word for it? I'm horrible. So you guys stutter. Yeah, it's okay. You know, course. So I've been learning a lot from what just everything that they're giving, you know, so it's been helping me a lot. But one thing I was just thinking, I think after Sunday service, I think it kind of like I was like, okay, how can I like share like that I'm Christian, that I'm like, I want to be different in that way. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I want to show like that I am rooted in Christ, like, you know, that I'm saved, that I'm a believer. Like, I want to be able to share that. So what I did recently is actually in my bio on my photography page, because I had everything, weddings, family photographer, whatever, you know how they sometimes have it, you know, but I ended up cleaning it up. And then putting first, rooted in Christ with a little cross on my bio, so cute. You know, and then putting what I do as a photographer. So cool story again. Yesterday morning, I got a message from a new person that just started following me. And then she's just kind of asking like how, like my bookings and stuff like that, you know. And the reason why she even messaged me and how she found me, the reason why she messaged me was more because she saw that it said rooted in Christ on
Yeah.
my bio.
Love that.
And she was like, I love that, you know, and I love that about that. And I love your work, you
Wow.
know? So I was just like, okay, like, yeah, like, this is good. This is okay.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, because that's my identity.
You're
It's
being your true,
Christ.
authentic self, too.
Yeah, yeah. Like, this is who I am. Like, I'm not gonna be someone who I know that I'm not, because that's what I've been thinking. Like, I'm trying to level up,
Yeah.
and then I think about the type of customers. I'm pretty sure you think about that, like the clients
All
and
the time.
this and that. Like, what type of clients
Like,
am I
what's
gonna
your
get?
ideal client? What's
Yeah.
your niche?
What's your niche?
Yeah, 'cause-
aesthetic?
yeah.
That's just the generalization, but then too,
Yeah.
like, you want to be like careful, I guess, in a way, like who you do work with and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know. And because even like the photographer who I'm learning, she kind of like went through a really bad experience in one of her elopements, you know, and how a person was just drunk, and so I heard her story, and I'm just like, oh man. So I think that got me thinking
Yeah.
even more. So I'm just like, man, like, how can I like really like make myself like stand out?
Yeah.
And I felt like just by doing that, and right away, I feel like God was showing me like,
You're like-
that's what you had to do, Jeanette. Like, you know, not be ashamed of me. You know,
Wow.
like that's how I like
Love
took
that.
it. You know,
Yeah.
and so I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna put that in all my bios.
Be
rooted in
loud,
Christ.
loud and proud.
You know, yeah. And
I
she was
love
like,
But that's like you being like still like true to yourself.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think as Christians, we think that like there's not other Christians out there that
Yeah.
can be our clients.
Yeah, no.
But
And
there's
it's-
a lot of Christians, you know, that want to work out, that want to, you know, get their pictures taken.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
And it's not that I'm just trying to get Christians, it's not. But it's just I want to
It's
let
you.
it just exactly. I want to let people know like, but this is me. Like
Exactly.
who you're gonna
Yeah.
meet, the happy girl, like the
Yeah.
a very extroverted person. When I get to meet you for the first time, you're gonna
Yeah.
see that part, not the shy one. So because I can be kind of quiet too, but you're gonna see the
Yeah.
extroverted person and the happy person, the kind person.
Yeah.
A lot of this happens because I got God on my back. Like he's the one
Amen.
that's helping me, strengthening me to do all this, you know, supporting me through all this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and before I go through every session, I'm like praying, God, protect me, be with me, take
Yeah.
control, you know? So it's just, he's in the center of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Have you
So-
ever had a moment where you just get? I've gotten frustrated with God because before my surgery, I was in a lot of pain. I was, you know, very depressed a couple of months ago, very anxious, and just like I was having a hard time finding a job. I was just so frustrated. I was like, God, I'm praying. I have so much faith, and you know, I kept repeating
the prayers.
you know, the prayers, the verses. I was like, God, help my disbelief. Like, help me. Like, I got so fed up at some point. I was like, God, I'm tired. But have you guys ever had like a moment like
Bruh.
that where you're
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, God, come on.
Oh, yeah. I know.
I'm like, yeah.
I see that a lot too, bro. I tell my kids that.
That makes me feel
Yeah.
good. I felt so odd because I'm like, oh, like everyone seems so happy and they're like, oh,
No.
go God, I believe in you. I'm like, I was so frustrated with God. I was like, God, man.
I think we all
Yeah.
have our seasons.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, we're all gonna have our seasons, and I know I had my season like that. You know,
Yeah.
like where I think when again going back to, I kind of like always go back to our story because it had a lot to that mine and my husband's story. Like it really was like a shift in our lives. You know, when we got the help, but during those times, like I was praying so much, I would cry so much, you know, and a lot of people didn't see that part. You know, they see me like going to church happy, singing
Wow.
on stage, you know,
Wow.
praying for other people, you
Yeah.
know, and I'm sorry.
No, it's gonna say
Like, I want to hug you, but you're so
know.
far.
It's okay.
I'm like, hold on.
You know,
Yeah.
but, or having to sacrifice a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
and focusing on my family, you know, and you know, a lot of people didn't see that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, but you don't ever stop praying. You know, I'm just gonna say that. Don't ever stop praying.
Yeah.
Don't ever stop seeking the help. You know, because God hears you, God sees you,
Yeah.
God loves you, and I get to say, like, me and my husband, we're still together. You know, me and my husband, we're gonna turn 10 years
Yes.
this upcoming
Woo,
year.
Celebration.
You know, 10-year anniversary. You know, so and things are not perfect, but we're in a such much better place.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
and I'm grateful. You know, I'm very grateful for. You know, we had to go through. You know, we had to go through what we had to go through because it made us both grow.
And it's
You
a
know.
testimony.
It
And
is. It's beautiful.
Where
Yeah.
now we get to hear, we got a text from some friends yesterday, that, they've, they struggled in their marriage too. And we were in that time in their marriage, like we were able to counsel them and help them. And now they were living apart for a while, but they were still together. But they had to live. They're living apart, and they have 2 kids. Mm-hmm. And now they're just telling you guys are the first to know. And we just want to let you guys know that we're finally we finally got our home. We're gonna get our home this week.
That's awesome.
They're finally gonna move back in together with their kids. So that's just a blessing to see. So because of our story, our experience, and how we were able to help them, like it's just a testimony. It's just sharing.
It's beautiful. It gives me hope. You guys know my situation, so it gives me hope. So I love hearing it every single time. It doesn't get old. I think faith goes a long way, and that's why we walk by faith and not by sight. Like there was times where I was frustrated with God, and now I have a job that's perfect for me. Like I know God gave me that job because it's the pay, it's the kids I want to work with, it's the demographics I want to work with. So I know, like, even though we were frustrated during that time, we have to trust that God, it's all in God's timing. God is working out his plan perfectly, and we just got to trust that.
Amen.
Yeah. All right.
I can't wait till we're done so I can give you a hug. I just don't want to trip on I don't want to trip on all this.
I did not think I was going to do that, to be honest.
That wasn't on the script.
But it's just, God is so good, and if you're like listening to this and maybe you're a believer, but you've been struggling in having faith, or you're going through a season where, like how Darlene is saying, like you're mad, you're angry, you don't know what to do, or you're praying the same prayers, like, you're just like, how come nothing is changing? Believe me, things will change. Just don't stop praying. Don't stop believing. Don't stop having faith.
And don't stop seeking counsel.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but
seek wise counsel.
Seek wise counsel. Surround yourself with a community that's going to be there for you. It's going to support you. I think above everything, that's what we need to as people. It's crazy how I went to hormones to this now.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I think it's just a God-given thing. I don't know. Someone needs to hear this, but, you're hearing it for women, that, again, we have so many stresses, right? So many, now we're talking about this, so many different types of hormones that we go through, and just laying them all out. They're just billions of them, like that's how I see it.
We have so many categories of life too. Like I have my relationship, I have my daughter, I have my work, I have the army, I have like all these different categories, and you have to show up for each one. And that's why I'm saying moms are freaking superheroes. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah. We need our cape.
Literally. It's so funny because I was watching, I was listening to a podcast, and the lady was talking about how men like just go to sleep and they just like knock out, and then the wives are like laying beside him, like literally like, okay, so I have to take the chicken out, I have to cook at this time, okay, I have to get the kids, like, and planning out their whole day, like the next day, and like what they have to do. And I'm just like, oh my God, that's
yeah.
If I don't know, do you guys have schedules? Because I cannot. I cannot without a schedule.
I mean, I do have a schedule, but not like where at night I'm like thinking. I think more, for me, it's more like thinking of knowing what I have to do. And then I'm married, so I have to check in to make sure. I have to make sure he's not doing something, because right now we only got one car. So I'm just like, okay, what are you doing tomorrow? And I need to stop asking him that way, because I think he takes it wrong. But I'm just like, what are you doing tomorrow? And he's like, are you working? I'm like, okay. So based on the car situation, I'm like, okay, I can get this done. I can get that done. I can go do this. I can do that. Or just be home and do this and do that. So I think we all do it in our own way. Like where it's like, because when you said the chicken, I'm like, oh my God, I do that. With the chicken, I'm like, oh man, I forgot to take out the chicken.
I literally am thinking like, even a week before, like, okay, so if I'm going to cook chicken breast, I have to go to grocery shop that Saturday or Sunday or Friday, because I can't do it Monday, Tuesday. So if I'm going to cook on Wednesday, like...
That's exactly how my head
I'm
is
like,
too.
okay,
I'm
so
like-
when can I schedule going to the grocery store?
I think my week
Yeah.
is like automatic. Like I already know what I'm gonna do. But during the weekend, I'm like, even with my boyfriend, I'm just like, what time are we gonna hang out? Like I'm very like punctual because I want to go to the store. I want to get my workout in. I want to clean the house. I want to do my
Yeah.
laundry. I want to fold my laundry maybe in a couple of days.
A couple weeks. I got too much laundry. That's why.
I like to plan my weekends. I'm not during the week. It's automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
I for sure have to have a schedule if I don't have a schedule. And I know like I have I'm gonna say single friends, maybe friends that don't have kids, and they'll be like, oh, like let's go get a coffee. Can you go Monday? And I'm like, I look at my schedule and I'm like, no. I can't. I can do maybe like 2-3 weeks from now. You know, I have actually Tuesday available like at this time. You know, but it's just literally I can't. I
It's
can't.
so funny because now too, like I feel like I have to tell my friends, and I feel so bad sometimes. I'm like, we need to do a coffee date. You know, if I
Me
tell
too.
somebody, I'm
Me
like,
too.
okay, I'm like, let me just take my schedule. Let me check my calendar real quick. You know,
Literally.
because like, and then because we got the kids of the
Exactly.
stuff with the kids.
They have
too.
their own activities that you
yeah.
have to like take them to. So
yeah, so it's a lot, you know, but we have to make time. We do have to make time for ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, for sure. Like today when I go get my nails done, I'm like,
Okay,
I
go
put,
treat
I
yourself.
I
Treat
put my nail
yourself.
appointment on my calendar. And
Yes.
it's so funny. He actually screenshotted it. and sent it to me. I was like, yeah, I gotta get me. You know, I gotta take
I
care
do
of
the same
myself.
thing. Yeah. It's like
I'm
workout
like-
time at this time. Okay, I have my brow appointment this day at this time. Yeah.
You need that for yourself. Like pouring, you got to pour
yeah.
into yourself in order to pour into to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, you know, so that, because if you have a partner or you're married, you know, like you have to make sure to like, because I feel like sometimes when he doesn't get his time alone, like he likes to get his time alone by like working out and going to the gym and stuff. So when he does that, I'm like, okay, go, you're right, bye, you know?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, so I don't like complain about it, you know? And I'm just like, all right, so bye, you
Yeah.
know, like when it's my turn.
I think it's like
you know?
respecting when your partner too wants like their alone time. Like
Yeah.
my boyfriend went to his first NFL game this Sunday, and I was so jealous because I wanted to take him, and I was like, "Ugh, I guess he had fun.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's why
But-
you gotta buy the tickets.
Yeah, I'm like, I did. Okay, so long story short, this kind of frustrated me. We're supposed to be going to Seattle this weekend to watch the Eagles and Seahawks play.
Cool.
It was supposed to be on Sunday. They changed it to Monday. And I was like, and I can't go to the game on Monday because I'm work.
You were.
So I was like,
Oh.
that's why I was kind of jealous because he went to the game.
Oh,
to a football game without our
Well, yeah,
game.
okay, yeah, that
It was
makes
my
sense.
plan.
That makes sense.
stole your
Yeah.
plan.
They did.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
that
Next
kinda
time, do a game here close by so that
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
happen.
how we did.
I know because we went last year. That was fun, and I bought him and my son. We all three of us went. We wanted to take our son, so I was like, I surprised them with
Oh,
tickets.
that's
Yeah.
cute.
So, that was fun. We gotta do that again. Anyways, back to the conversation. Yeah. So I feel like we did so much. How much time do we have?
Yes, it's an hour and 6.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We're not bad. All right. So, dang, we talked about everything in here.
We did?
Yeah. Sorry. Another breather. Another breather. I mean, is there anything else that you guys want to bring up, like in regards to what we're talking about already? The hormonal, like, you guys feel like you want to?
I can
something.
I can bring up something that's kind of funny that I learned in school maybe like 2 months ago. So I was learning between the difference of like men and women. And my professor brought up like I don't know if he brought it up or if I read it. But it's just like a story and it's really, really funny. And I think every client of mine that I've told so far at the gym, the girls laugh because it's like, oh my God, it's so true. Okay. So let's say scenario, right? Okay. Husband goes and buys chicken, right? He goes, buys chicken. And then they're at home. It's dinner time. They're eating the chicken. And wife asks him, where did you buy the chicken? And he's just like, oh, okay, well, I bought it at so-and-so store. He answers the question directly, right? Why are you laughing already? I haven't said the funny part
Well,
yet.
the part that I don't know, just like the fact that they went to buy chicken already sounds bad. Like,
Because I know where you're going with that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because it's literally just happened.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Okay,
That's
so
why he's laughing too.
okay, so same scenario, but we're switching the roles. Okay,
Okay.
wife buys chicken. Okay, now they're at the table eating chicken. Husband asks wife, "Hey babe, where did you buy the chicken?" Wife responds, "Why, you don't like it?"
Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes
So
sense
the
too.
difference is that men externalize everything. So
Yeah.
men find fulfillment through work, through going to the gym, like external things, and women internalize everything. So the question wasn't about you, but you
Yeah.
thought it was about you or me. So when you ask the man where he bought the chicken, he'll tell you where he bought the chicken. But if your husband or your partner asks you where you bought the chicken, you're just like, dang, he doesn't like it. Did I cook it wrong? Did he not like how I cooked it?
Yeah.
We immediately like internalize
Yeah.
everything.
That's a bit.
very
That's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of
Like we take
miscommunication.
everything so personal.
Yeah.
And like men are just so
I can name a lot of experiences.
No, but it's true. 'Cause- so the reason why I was laughing, I think it's still similar, you know, but it's just a little different.
George is like, let her finish.
I know, sorry, because it was a little different. It was a little different, but in the same way though, I think because it was so funny, like, we're on a phone call, so our tire had gone flat, you know, so I called him to let him know. So in the middle of me trying to explain I'm explaining before telling him. That's why I'm not direct. He would have been.
You're just going every detail by detail.
Letting him know what happened, how it happened, because
You
why?
have to give the
Because
background.
internally, like, we don't want to get blamed. Like, in a way, like, that's what I'm telling you.
want him to know that it was not your fault.
So, in a way, like, it does have this, like, similarity. So it's so funny because as I was explaining what had happened, right in the middle when I was going to get to my point, I was literally going to get to
He
the
said,
point.
get to the point.
Yeah, get to babe, just get to the point. Like, all frustrated and mad, you know? I'm like, why are you mad? And I was like, literally, then it took longer at that point because he's over here mad at me because I'm like taking forever. So it's just funny, you know? Like, it was.
It's funny though, but
Yeah.
think about it. Like that probably was frustrating to him. You know,
Yeah.
like
He's like, what
babe,
is it?
so
Just
what
what is
happened?
it?
Give me
Yeah.
the facts. Tell me.
Yeah.
So just say, babe, I got a flat.
He was telling me
You
that.
could have said that.
I could have, but I did. But-
flying a drone.
But because of the whole internalized,
Yeah.
we take things personally. I
So
think,
personal.
And I think because I didn't want to feel like I didn't want him to think it was like my fault or like I did
Like you did something wrong.
Yeah, and I'm like, because I didn't. It was literally just I came out of the house and it was. But I started driving and I saw the little light and it was flat. I'm like, great. I think because the traumas before,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
I think sometimes our reactions are caused also from.
Yeah. You
I
think
have
you're
a lot
gonna
of-
get in
I have a
trouble?
lot of
Yes.
those. Well, I have a lot of moments where I'm like, where I feel like, okay, because he didn't give me a hug longer than 3 seconds, I'm like, he's mad at me. Like, are you mad at me right now? No, I'm not. But I just feel like you're not giving me the attention you normally give me. Like,
Yeah,
like
no,
start
we
internalizing.
internalize everything. Everything we take it like super personal. So that's
Yeah.
something I'm actually working on with like everyone. Because
good.
literally you could be at church and if someone doesn't like say hi to you or someone
Yeah.
you know, just
You need people who are
Good conversation. That's all I'm saying. That's a good conversation.
You're like, hold on. Internal. She's
Me and my husband have like
internalizing.
little like, you know, we kind of like talk to each other that way. No, I'm just kidding. No, but it's true. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we internalize a lot of things.
I have friends like that. You need to have friends who are logical.
with your
I think you need to go to your friends first before you start a whole.
I'm like that logical friend.
Yeah,
I always tell my
could be
friends,
that
I'm
person.
like, if
Yeah.
you don't want to know like the truth, like don't ask me because it's
I'm like, I could be like
suck
that.
at lying.
I could be like that too, but I also
Yeah.
go to other people to like think logically for me. Like I have a friend who kind of internalizes everything. Like, oh, so and so unfollowed me, and it's weird because I thought we were cool, and I was just like, did you think that maybe she deactivated her Instagram? Because I think she did. And then she's like, oh, I didn't think about that. And I was like, well, why?
Maybe
you-
she's not even on Instagram.
Yeah. I feel like I don't internalize everything. I always say this, like I've always been more the optimistic person. So I'm always trying to see the hopeful part of things, you know, like, no, I don't think it's that. I think it can be this, it can be that. I try to,
Yeah.
it's not
Different scenarios.
Yeah, different scenarios, just so that I don't feel like it is the negative part.
Ooh,
You know,
I'm gonna start practicing that.
that they are ignoring you, or they don't like you, or they're not talking to you because of X,
Or
Y,
maybe
and Z.
you did something wrong
maybe,
that
yeah.
made them mad at you.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
Sometimes the other person is just, they have no idea what's going on in your head.
exactly, they really
It's like out of
don't.
nowhere scenarios in your mind.
Yeah,
It's kind of crazy if you think about it.
It's because our assumptions sometimes, I think, are just our nature. It just kind of, it goes to that.
We could
you
just
know?
ask,
Right.
what did you mean by that? Like, instead of like, oh, they meant like coming up with it on our head. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's I think that needs to I've always tried to be understanding and try to better at that, you know, because we've had some confrontations, and even with my husband, like sometimes like how he can, you know, like when he's opened up about me or how he feels about someone or something or whatever. So I've always been the one to be like, well, I mean, let's see it this way, or maybe it's this, maybe it's that, you know, and let's not see it the negative part, or that'll be like, well, maybe it just takes by talking to them. We actually told him, like, in regards to some like some work stuff, you know, he kind of like had like, you know, a thought, you know, I'm like, well, maybe it's just that they are really busy, you know, and maybe that's why it's not the way it was in the beginning. You know, I was like, well, just see the next time you go to work, or even see if you go to work, you know, and if you do, that's a plus. And if you do, just kind of see how it flows. And if you feel like you need to talk to him and ask him, then ask him. And if not, then okay. And so I think afterwards I can ask him, so how did it go? How did you feel? It's like, no, it was good. Like, you know, so I think it really was just probably their busyness and their the stresses that they were going through with their business, you know, because literally sometimes that's just how it is. We all do it. Like, even I do it too. You know, sometimes.
Even like going back with like what we were saying about our friends, sometimes I think like, man, if I tell them that I'm busy, they probably think I don't want to hang out with them.
Yeah.
But I really am that busy.
Yeah.
I'm like the busiest season of my life I've ever been in. And I really am that busy where it's like, I can't, I don't have time to, you know, we will one day, you know, but right now for like the next couple of months, like it's grind time, you know.
School is a different kind of stress. Like I was stressed for years, but definitely do your self-care, because that stress and that fight or flight can become addicting. So do your self-care so that you don't get addicted to that constant like, oh, I gotta do something. Because right now
that
I'm
happens
learning
to me sometimes.
I'm learning to slow down. It's so weird for me because now I want to go back to school, but I know I need that mental break. So I know I need to spend time with my daughter and slow down and enjoy life and cruise, enjoy my relationship, enjoy my family, my mom, all that.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. I actually, I mean, it sucks to say, but I was going for my bachelor's, you know, I had went back last year, 2022. I did the full year, but I really had to make a decision, you know, whether if I'm going to continue it or not. And it was a lot for me. I think with just everything that I was doing, and just, I think the being mom, a wife, my businesses, and then doing a lot of other things that I was doing at that time too. It was draining me. Like, and I noticed the drain because during summertime when I wasn't going to school, like I noticed like how tired I was, how like relieved I was. I'm not doing work, and you know, like when you finally get that free time and that like that breather, and then going back in, it was just a lot, right? Like I would like stay up late doing homework, and then my kids wanted my attention. And again, like I have 3 kids, you know, and then I have my husband.
It's a lot.
And you know, so it was a lot. So I had to really, for me, I mean, if you're doing it, I applaud you. You are, girl, awesome. Like, you know, like, girl, like, I applaud you because it was tough for me. And I had to really make the decision. And believe me, I sometimes feel like it sucks that I had to do it.
Yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, it's okay. I don't regret it because I look where I'm at now. I feel like I see where I'm at now. I see where I'm at now with my businesses. That I was able to start the new business this year of the coffee cart, you know, and I was able to put now my attention to those things, and now I'm able to work with my husband. Me and my husband are working together a lot.
So good.
So I, it sucks that I have to say that, but then it's like I had to take care of myself.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot,
Yeah.
and I wasn't being the best mom. I wasn't being the best wife for them during that time.
It's just too much at one time.
Yeah, it really was.
And you have to pick and choose. Like, you have to be very selective when you're a mom. And then when you're at school, like, you don't have to hang out with your friends all the time or whatever.
Yeah.
I stopped hanging out with my friends for a while.
Yeah.
Or like, you have to find something that works for you and your family. Like, when I was looking for jobs, it had to work with my daughter's schedule. It had to be flexible enough to where I could pick her up from school if I needed to. Like, so those things that we had to consider when we're getting into our career. So
yeah, that's good, and that's why I have my businesses, because I'm very flexible.
Very flexible. she's like she starts stretching around. She's like, want to see?
No, because I think
You're like, I'm flexible.
No, like, because I don't know. I just always been like, I can't do a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
I've done it, and I was never able to like stick with it.
Yeah.
I was never able to stick.
You
with
work
it.
9 to 5?
It's the working hours, but I could split it. Like, I could go and pick up my daughter from school if I needed to and drop her off and then go continue working.
That's good.
Yeah. It's a lot of flexibility,
you know? So I feel like because you at your job, you still have a little bit of control.
I do. That's what I was looking for, because when I was personal training, are you an independent contractor?
Yeah.
That's how I was. And I loved having control of my schedule.
Exactly.
I loved it. I was done by 12 and I was making decent money.
Yeah,
so I was
exactly.
Like, I loved
so
it.
Good.
So the same thing with me, like, I get to pick and choose whether if I want to take a client or not. I get to pick and choose what days I want to work or not. You know, I mean, I'm still working when I don't work, but that's after when my kids go to bed, and my focus is other, with them or in the home or with my husband or doing things, together during the day,
That's another thing though with like not working a 9 to 5 is that you're kind of working like all the time.
Yeah. In a way,
You're running your business.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. But see the flexibility? Like, I can still go to my nail appointment. I can still take my kids.
That's so true. That's
like,
so true.
You don't have no one hovering over you type thing. I mean, you're hovering yourself, or I have my husband to tell me, hey, have you done this? But hey, we're doing it together,
Yeah.
The flexibility.
And I think what's most rewarding, and you probably feel this way, and I know you feel this way, is that you guys are doing what you absolutely love to like do. So I remember when I started personal training, because I've always wanted to have my own business, but I didn't know necessarily what I was going to do. I had ideas. And so I remember I sat down with myself one day and I was like, okay, out of these business options that I like and I'm passionate about all of these things, I asked myself, which one would I do for free?
Oh, wow.
And so that's when I was like, I like this one, I like that one, but that one would feel like work if I had to do it every day. I was like, if I go the fitness route, I'm so passionate about it that it's not going to feel like work, and I would probably do it for free. Yeah. Because I love it that much.
That's how I feel about counseling.
Like, I think the same way too sometimes. Because I feel like lately in my photography business and the coffee cart, like I love giving back sometimes, like to get like the vision that I have, right?
Right. Because you're creative.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm in photography, I'm very creative. I have to be a creative person, right? So I tell people I'm always looking for sometimes, just models, like in a way, like, hey, let's do a creative session, and it's free work. Yeah. It's literally free work. Or sometimes I get to give back to my friends. I'm like, hey, it's your birthday. I want to give this for your birthday.
Nice.
Like I got to do that with a couple of my friends this year, because it's what I get to do. It's what I love to do. And now you get to have something, give back to them in some sort of way.
What's a turn off is when your friends think you're going to give it to them for free, like they demand it or like they expect it.
Yeah.
When I was personal training,
that's not a friend.
when I was personal training, I've had people like think that I was gonna train them for free. It's like, you're not respecting my time. I probably would have offered it or offered a discount, but since they asked, I was like, nah, girl, you're paying full price.
And the thing is, it's like your family needs this to eat and survive. So it's like, would it be okay if your boss asked you to work that hour for like half of the time? would your friend be okay with taking a pay cut on their paycheck from their boss? Probably not. You know what I mean? So it's like, if your friend has a business, like, don't expect to get discounts and stuff. If they do it, awesome.
That
You know what I mean?
Up to them.
But
Like,
it has to be up to them. But yeah, people need to value and understand that, like, especially if you have kids, like, we are working, we are grinding, like, you guys. And then a lot of the times they have like a 9-to-5 job. So probably they don't understand that, like, mindset of like, I need to make this and I need to have this many clients and I need to do this with my time. If I don't, like, my kid's not going to eat.
Instead, they start to internalize it and think that we're brand new because we don't want to give them the
or they
discount.
probably think that because you own your own business, you're like making a ton of money. But it's like,
no, man.
It's so hard starting your business the first couple of years. Like, you really got to grind it out.
It
Yeah.
takes a couple years.
Yeah, it's not, guys, it's not a lot of money, okay? When we get to that point, we'll let you know. I was kidding. You'll see. I'm just kidding. No.
You won't see.
You won't see. No.
And that's why it's like, statistically, I think it's like 95% of businesses fail like within the first 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, guys, keep that in mind. I'm like in my first year of business. Like, don't ask me for a discount. Don't ask me for free sessions. Like, no.
Put this as your advertisement. No discounts.
No,
I mean, exchange of work is different, maybe. But
Exchange of work is different.
Anybody else out there want to do exchange of work too? No, I mean, because that is different.
It's
way
different.
We help each other out. You know.
Yeah,
in a way.
absolutely.
So,
it's completely different.
but yeah, it's good stuff. I feel like we talked a lot about a lot of good stuff. What do you think, babe? Good stuff. Good stuff.
A lot of girly stuff.
A lot of good stuff.
For the girls.
I mean, dang. I think there can be we can talk about so much when it comes down to, I think, just a life of a woman, you know?
Yeah.
There's just so much going on. But
I feel like today was a good snippet because we're all working moms.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. You know what I mean?
yeah, I think because we actually had one for Mother's Day, working moms, and it was like I'm an entrepreneur, and then our friend that came on, she was like a 9-to-5 mom, you know. So I think this was kind of cool too, because you kind of still are like that style, but then you got like two entrepreneurs over here trying to. Because I feel like there's a lot of people, and I feel like moms, because a lot of moms, like, because they want to have that flexibility with their kids, a lot of us are actually going like straight up entrepreneurs. Like, we're starting our own little businesses at home. You know, there's a lot of moms doing that.
Yeah.
I feel like that really happened during like COVID.
Yeah.
It was like this new like breed of like entrepreneurial moms.
Yeah, but it's
straight from home.
Yeah, but it's moms. Like, you know, it really is.
And it's like it's like things that they were just making at home. Like, it's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah. But I love it. And I think the best thing that we can do is just support each other.
Yeah.
I feel like, because, okay, let's talk about this. Can we do stuff a little bit more time? Okay.
A little bit.
Maybe after.
Okay.
He's like, after this,
Because that is a final topic.
Okay, because I mean, we have to talk about this. I think,
Okay.
you know, it's like, I think it's a good point when it comes down to womanhood. I think is how sometimes we don't support each other.
Oh,
You know, we
yeah.
compare,
Yeah.
or we think sometimes maybe we're better than the other, or we're
Yeah.
trying to be better than the other,
Yeah.
or our insecurities get away.
competition,
The
too.
competition, yeah, like I don't know. What do you guys say about that? What do you guys think about that?
I think it comes with a lot of insecurities if you're trying to be better than someone else. Like, I think you're not confident with yourself. I think you have to recognize that everyone is unique and that you all have your strength. Like, you're good at taking photos. I suck. Like, I'm going to go to you for that. Like, and maybe like you might go to, her for personal training because she's wise. She knows
She's
the
really
woman
good.
body. Like,
Yes.
it's like, instead of seeing it like, oh my gosh, she knows about photography. I don't know anything. Oh my God, I suck. Like, instead I'm like, okay, I want to be curious. How do you do it? Like, how do you have a good eye like this?
Yeah.
So showing curiosity on someone else and getting to know them instead of seeing them as competition, I think is key.
I think too, like, understanding that we all have our own personal calling and our own
Yes, that's a
purpose.
good
Like,
one.
we don't have like, my calling
really
is
good.
not your calling. Your calling
Yes.
is not my calling.
That's
Yes.
good.
And so it's like understanding that your life is going to be aligned with your calling, and my life is going to be aligned with my purpose and my calling. Obviously that God has placed on each one of our lives. And so it's like, why would I compare? Like, it like doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah.
And I think I've been so blessed. I actually, honestly, if there's been any woman haters around me, I have not noticed. That's good. I feel so blessed because even in the last year, so my church does this really cool thing that at the beginning of the year, the pastor has like a word of the year for the whole congregation, but then each individual person prays and asks for their own personal word of the year. And so my word of the year for 2023 was newness. And so God literally gave me new everything, but that also came with new friends. I never had mom friends before, and now I have a bunch of mom friends this year.
Nice.
We're the cool
We're
people.
mom friends.
You need, if you're a mom, you need mom friends.
Yes.
You do.
It's
Yes.
so
It's a
different.
support system.
Yes.
It's so
Support
Yeah.
system.
It's so different from having other friends that don't have kids. They don't really like understand. And the
Yeah.
thing is, like, you don't really have anything to talk about with them.
You know, that's so funny that you say that. I actually posted something recently for in my photography yesterday. Actually, I posted a session that I just recently did, and in regards to like us too, because we've had a change, you know, in how our life is right now, you know, and you know, we changed churches, and with the whole homeschooling and stuff like that, like it just has brought in new people around us too. But it's been a blessing with the
that's
people
awesome.
that have been surrounding us. And I just thank God for that, because it's opened up a lot of doors to different things.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just seeing God's continuously his faithfulness. And I love how you said that, like, your calling is your calling and my calling is my calling. You know, God
That's
has
very good.
totally different callings upon us. And whether if we do have something in common that maybe we might do the same or we don't, you know, but God is going to use us in totally different ways.
Yeah.
Why? Well, first of all, you are a different person than I am.
Yeah.
We have totally different testimonies.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have totally different backgrounds. We have
Preach.
totally different
Everything.
husbands, kids, children. We
Right.
all we have so much differences, you
Right.
know. So how we do things and how we work things is just totally different. So
Yeah.
why not support each other instead?
And I think too, like, learn from each other. Like, for example, like, obviously Jeanette has a completely different business from me. I'm in the fitness world. She's highly into like the media world. But one thing that we have in common is that we can be creative in our own businesses. And at the end of the day, we are both content creators. You know what I mean? That's one thing we have in common. But I'm not going to be jealous of Jeanette, or Jeanette be jealous of my content creation or her content creation. If anything, we can get together, which we've done. We've done. We can get together and learn off of each other and help each other and support
That's
each other.
good. See?
You know what I mean?
Because I'm not the best, you know, but
No, but you're pretty dang good.
yeah, thank you.
By the way, if y'all seen my Instagram,
Oh, just a couple of them, because I kind of like pulled back a little bit.
I did too, though. Like we mentioned at the beginning.
My bad. That's what I was saying my bad earlier. You know, and then I stopped going to work out with her. My bad. I need to go back. Hopefully the new year.
Amen.
It's just
Amen to
so
that.
busy.
I
Again,
know,
the
I know.
busyness. But and then the tiredness. But
And then the tiredness, yeah.
no, but I loved how you said that, and I hope that someone got that today. Like, so don't compare
Yeah.
yourself. Don't compare, because I know I've done it. Like, I've compared myself.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm pretty sure we've all done it. Like, it's just a nature of us that we compare ourselves, you know. But try not to, you know, don't do it. Instead, you know, why not ask questions? Why not like say, hey,
Why not,
like that's
feed off of each other, bounce off of each other.
yeah, like that's awesome. I love what you did right there. Or you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
You don't know how much that would do to a person.
Yeah.
You just cheering someone on. Like when that girl, she did, I was actually praying about it. Like I was actually praying about it this morning. Like I was actually talking to God. I was like, God, this girl like didn't have to reach out to me and tell me she loved my work because of the bio of me putting
That's awesome.
rooted in Christ. Like she literally could just been like, I love your work. Like I would love to book you next year.
But
You
she
know,
was so specific.
exactly. Yeah.
That like made your whole week.
Yeah,
huh?
it
That like
really
made
did.
your whole December.
Yes, I'm serious. It
Yeah.
really did. So I'm just like, I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like I was like, okay, I am doing something right.
Yeah.
You know, so encourage one another, you know, encourage
and share. Like, for example, if anybody brings up photography, I'm like, oh, you got to hit up Jeanette. Here's her page.
Oh, thank you.
Or if anyone asks, like, hey, Angie, do you know any photographers in the IE? Like, I send out your page so much.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
I always send out her info. Like, she's the best. She knows what she's doing. She had made me grow a little bit, but now it's all gone again. I was working on my glute, but
Yeah. If you need some glutes, nah, just kidding.
no, she's really good. I love the way she works. I always tell people too, I'm like, I love the way she works because she helped me understand my body.
Yeah.
I love how you did that. Like, you helped me understand my body, how I lift, how to like just even stand, because I didn't know how.
Yeah.
I was never doing it right, you know. So
it's
I
like
love
the correct form according
That's,
to your
that's
body.
a good personal trainer. You'd be surprised how many personal trainers will let you get away with bad form.
Yeah, literally.
Like, oh my-
yeah, and she would.
I'm
and
like,
she would
I
actually
could
see.
never.
I'll be
I
like,
could
I'm
never.
complaining about something. She'll be like, well, okay, let me see that. And then she'll be like, okay, yeah, I see now. Yeah. So then we'll
Yeah.
like fix it, you know? So yeah, support one another, you know, like, and what would you like to say, Darlene, just to kind of.
No, I think I already added like just the whole not being in competition with each other, instead of uplifting each other. Give each other compliments. I think that goes a long way, because you don't know who's watching.
Yeah.
And even for me, like when I graduated from school, I had so many people I barely even talked to like congratulate me. Like,
that probably made your
even
day,
old clients
huh?
of mine,
That's
you know,
so cute.
even old clients of mine that I wasn't training anymore will congratulate me, because they were in the middle of that season with me. Like your
Yeah.
clients are in the season with you.
Right.
So anyone that's along that path, you know, like they're gonna see that with you. And social media, even if they don't know you personally, they're seeing your story.
The start. Yeah.
At least what you post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Which
getting to know
I need
you
to
and-
post again.
Yeah.
I need you in my life.
After the holidays. We will for sure.
Next year.
No, but for sure. Okay. I promise. No,
Yeah.
all right. Well, I think this topic was awesome. We went to menstrual cycles, to mom life, to I think everything.
everything.
You know, just the
Girl
stresses
talk,
of
yeah, all
life.
the girls.
It was straight up girl talk. So, but thank you to my husband for allowing us to have this platform to be able to have our offbeat girl talk.
Yes.
I love that title.
We're gonna have roses next time. All over the place.
When we do our next girl talk, we're gonna go to a different.
We're gonna do like
mix it up a little
plants and stuff, little lights.
Yeah, we'll make it a little bit more girly.
Charcuterie board.
Hex, yeah, that's a good idea. I have a charcuterie board too.
Charcuterie boards
I do
too.
good charcuterie boards.
She
too.
does.
Yeah.
She does.
I was too. I was like, should I take them a snack? But girl, I was busy before.
It's
all this.
okay.
So next
No, you're
time,
good.
next
Mom
time
life,
we have
yeah.
to do another one. If you want to see another episode like this about girl talk, you know, like comment right there, girl talk.
And even
you know?
comment maybe like what specific
Topics.
subjects
Yeah,
to
that'd be
go
good.
into,
Yeah.
even
Yes.
within like womanhood.
Yes.
That'd be good.
That'd be good. Yes. We have to have more of this. I love this. Thank you, Darlene. Thank you, Angie, for being here
Thank
today.
you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
George. Thank you,
Thank you,
Offbeat.
Yes, and this is Offbeat. Subscribe, follow us on IG, on Facebook, YouTube. Share this with anybody that you know. If you know a woman that is stressing, a mother that is stressing, share this with her, that she knows that she is not alone.
Yes.
You know, and we're praying for you guys, for all the
Yep.
moms out there. We love you. Just keep doing what you're doing. You are enough. You are loved. And find a right community. Get counseling, find the right counsel, you know, but find a good community that can surround yourself with, to help you and strengthen you and uplift you in you know, your hard times. So we love you guys. Thank you. This was Offbeat Girl Talk. See you guys later.